We are so back, chat. Look at these views. And you see a slight Pepsi Cola mention. That whole big sign. This is why we go out and touch grass. This is why we go out and breathe oxygen. Because you wouldn't appreciate these views if you were a basement dweller. Dude, even in 2019, 2020 a little bit, when I slowly started to just take myself a little bit more serious, or even 2017, just started taking more walks by myself. I started taking way more time home, and an ultimatum. I've ultimately recognized that I don't need to over rely on me having a main character arc to just cherish myself. What I don't understand, just in a general pyramid scheme, is why do you feel like you need a main character arc? Or you know it's okay to just be, right? You know it's perfectly fine to be yourself and not having to care if you are a first option or a second option, or who cares about that? Why do you guys in Big 2026 still talk about these things? Who cares? Genuinely. Because it gets to a certain point where you have to recognize it doesn't matter if you're a first, second, third, last, second to last option. It never mattered. It only mattered because we were so hungry for connection. We are so starving for attention that we forget the fundamental aspect of being and just connecting. It was never about if you cared about me the most, or if I'm supposed to be some type of main character, I'm supposed to be some type of cult leader. Nobody cares. I don't care either. I need all of you guys, if you were in my space, if you guys were my friends, to all have your time to have a main character arc. It doesn't matter if a main character arc, a main character period doesn't even exist like that. And if it does exist, everybody's getting a turn. Everybody's eating. Okay? It doesn't matter. None of you guys are my first, second, last. The whole nation of my friends are first option. All of you are a priority. None of you guys are excluded to, oh, do I prioritize you last, or do I prioritize you first? Who cares? Y'all need to get out of this high school mindset. It doesn't matter anymore. You guys are grown enough to be able to recognize not even just your faults, but you guys are able to recognize who you trust more, who you can rely on to go to for advice, who you can go to for just talk about interests about K-pop, for example, interests on anime, interests about playing guitar, interests about dinosaurs, learning random facts. You got different people for that. There's different reasons why you guys have difference of interests, difference of friends. There's a purpose behind it. And as a cruise ship is passing by, a boat, you see, there's no competition with that boat, with that other boat right there. If you can see, maybe my camera's being a little bit stingy, or maybe I'm just not angling right. But even then, those two boats are just passing by each other, doing their thing. Are they arguing? Are they in competition? No. That's how we need to be ourselves. We need to stop caring and giving a shit so much about, am I your first option? I'm never nobody's first option. I'm never nobody's second option. I'm like somebody who just gets pushed to the side, this, that, and the third. Don't get pushed to the side then, please. Don't set yourself up to be pushed to the side. Have some boundaries. Have a peak interest. Have a peak curiosity of other people. If you guys share similar interests, talk about it more. Bring more depth into the interest if the other person doesn't have enough. Give something, okay? Not everything has to be give and take, or everything has to be just take, or give. You guys need a balance. That's what friendships are for. That's the point. You guys are giving each other something. You guys are providing something to each other. Nobody is maintaining a friendship or a relationship just one of you guys doing all the carrying. Unless it's a flaw thing. Let's say you can't really socially interact as much, or you have social anxiety, or you struggle maintaining conversation. The other person can maintain a conversation. The other person is very extroverted. So that's the reason why you guys have each other. You guys are building off each other. You guys are not ripping each other apart into pieces every 5 seconds. Your main goal should be for you to have a sustainable, consistent connection. A goal for you is so you guys can float together. You guys are not constantly in each other's way. These boats are not going to work if something's off about them. They're going to be fixed. So these boats, in order for them to do their thing, they need their own path. And if they somehow meet together, they're not going to argue with each other. They're just going to greet hello. They're going to be like, what's good? They're going to do their thing then, afterwards. So that's how we need to be. Might not be the best analogy that I have perpetuated, but that's not really the premise. The whole premise of me making these particular small connections is so that we can be a bit more united. And we don't have to always constantly just, am I a first option? Should I have a main character arc? Should I be a background character for people? It's fun to be a background character. It's way more fun than being a main character all the time. Man, I went through it. I went through a main character arc. I went through a secondary arc. I was a sidekick. I went through third, last, minor, just a cameo background character. I went through it all. Trust. You don't have to. Nothing feels a lot more free-flowing than being a background character, because there's not too much at stake. You don't have to overcompensate on, should I act like this? Should I do this? Should I do that? Nah, it's a shared effort. If I bring something to the table, most people don't agree, I'm like, okay, cool. I don't have to do this. Most people don't really agree like that. It's fine. I don't need to always be the main character. I don't always need to be the second option either. Nobody cares. If somebody trusts, or if somebody is much more close to another person than me, great. I'd rather that be the case than somebody overextending or over-relying on me for support or some type of resource. You need other people. You need other friends. You need other spirits. You need other souls to connect with. You can't just have one person. You can't just have a few people. Or if you do want a few people, that's awesome. You would like to grasp different perspectives. You would like to grasp different thoughts. You would like to grasp other energies, other adventures, other than just the one you're familiar with, or the one that you are easily susceptible and comfortable with. So just in general for today's video, you guys just need to let go. You guys just need to breathe oxygen. You guys need to go outside, touch grass, and be like these boats. You need to be like water, free flow. Be like some of these turtles and ducks are inside the water right now. Usually they're there, but they're not visible right now because they're doing their thing. They're not focused on, am I a first option? Should I express myself in this type of fashion? Am I displaying main character syndrome? That could be a flaw, but it doesn't have to always be a flaw. So don't think too much. Stay still. Be still. And just free flow with the water. That's all. It's April Fool's Day. So fool somebody today. I don't think I am, because I'm a bit too direct and too serious sometimes, but Y'all got it. It's really April though. It's really April. That's crazy. It's been 2 months since I turned 26. What I've learned, man, time's just passing by quick, bro. That's all I can learn. All I can learn from is, hey, I'm just gotta appreciate each and every moment that's passing by more and more. The more time passes, I can't really suffice myself into just worrying about what other exteriors and worrying about my situations or worrying about what other people think. All I have is right now. Right now, talking to you. Right now, just experiencing this water. That's all I have. So I'm just gonna cherish this before I have stuff to do. But even then, you gotta keep afloat consistency, some type of water river mindset. Just exacerbating that energy. Don't exacerbate constant negative, low vibrational nonsense, because that doesn't really help anybody. You gotta accept it. You gotta let it flourish through your system, but you don't want to be a person that's overly dependent on it. You want to use it as a tool.